when you stay with Adivasis, you understand that life itself has a meaning in terms of living in peace with the nature. I think this is where corporate, government, and civil society should work together. अभी तक क्या होता था कि we always used to look for jobs. जिंदगी में दो ही एम होते थे. आपका एम होता था कि आपको गवर्नमेंट जॉब मिल जाए एंड पेरेंट्स एम यूज्ड टू बी कि तुम्हारी शादी हो जाए. इसके अलावा कोई थर्ड जो था वो कंपटीशन नहीं था.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm fine.
Sir, how's the lockdown treating you?
It's a different experience altogether. पर अच्छा लग रहा है. It gives a new meaning to life.
Right, spending time with the family and being at home for the longest period of time now.
Yes.
So, sir, any old hobby that you've started now working on?
Two things. One thing is reading. I was not able to read for long.
Okay.
And second thing is listening to music. क्योंकि बहुत टाइम से we were not getting space for music. तो अभी तो since family is there and we are at home, तो listening to lot of music, especially the old music.
Okay. So which artist do you listen to? Is it Kishore Kumar and?
My favorite is Hemant Kumar.
Never heard of him.
बहुत पुराने गाने हैं.
अच्छा.
है अपना दिल तो आवारा.
हाँ जी.
गाने किस पे आएगा? दो songs actually.
Okay.
The ones like बेकरार करके हमें यूं न जाइए, आपको हमारी कसम लौट आइए. That was the voice.
हाँ जी, beautiful. ये वाला गाना तो I think everyone has heard of this.
Yes, sure.
Do you also sing?
No, not really. But just if महफिल is there, if friends are there, तो I do sing. But I'm not a good singer.
So you are. अच्छा गाया आपने अभी.
नहीं, but मुझे सुनना ज़्यादा अच्छा लगता है.
चलो सर. सर तो फिर the first question I usually ask the guest is about their childhood. क्योंकि जब मैं ये पूछती हूँ, I expect some interesting story from back then, the childhood and childhood aspirations.
I had a very normal childhood. I belong to Himachal Pradesh.
Okay.
There's a small town, at least now, that time it was too small, Mandi in Himachal Pradesh. Yeah. I was born there, I had my school there. And what happens in hills, life is so slow, and with the nature, you don't really experience type of hustle, bustle, which you have in metros and others. And I was good at studies. So I used to get attention of my teachers, my peers, my friends. और वो इतना छोटा सा शहर है कि you really enjoy it. And good thing was like though it was a small town, but a lot of people, including Atal Bihari Vajpayee, used to spend some time there. So got a chance to listen to him. A lot of other good leaders. और काफी क्योंकि my father he was a writer. So we used to have a lot of literary people at our house and listening to them. फिर समाज में अभी क्या हो रहा है, what is current, what is happening, what should be there. So those type of things. So it was really very nice.
Okay, so you basically grew up in a very intellect environment. So very learned people around you.
Yes.
So where did you
Then I completed my 10th.
Yes.
I completed my 10th from there and then went to Shimla. Okay. I had my degree college in Shimla. And Shimla was very nice. Roj ढेर सारा, like going to Mall Road, meeting with friends. And it was a type of atmosphere where people enjoy life actually. एक दूसरे से मिलना, बात करना, वॉकिंग, फिर जब वो बर्फ गिरती है, so it's a totally a different experience. So it was like a heaven. Then I got admission into veterinary college, Pantnagar. That time it was UP, now it's Uttarakhand. That was totally a different experience because going to a big college from a small town to be with a lot of people, especially from senior classes and all. But I really enjoyed it. And good thing was like there were a lot of activities we used to play: badminton, cricket, lot of yoga, and the whole day used to pass like a dream come true. And after finishing my veterinary sciences from Pantnagar, I got admission to IRMA. IRMA is in Anand, Institute of Rural Management, Anand. So they were starting that time. So we were the first guinea pigs to do there. It was started by Dr. Verghese Kurian.
Mhm.
You know Amul Patel.
The father of the white revolution.
Yes, so we had a chance to work with him. First, since we were the first students, we used to interact a lot with us, and we went to these cooperatives in Gujarat. Gujarat people were very uh, different compared to what we had in UP and Himachal Pradesh. Staying in villages, working with farmers, knowing different people. The model which I learned there, that carried with me for the life. We had good chance to. Then I joined his organization called National Dairy Development Board. Being working with Dr. Varghese Kurian and his team, it gave you that feeling that how you can really work for the farmers.
Right.
Like these days, also you hear a lot about Amul, even during the lockdown. They have been able to cope up with their they even didn't close even for 1 minute their plants and all. They maintain the supplies. That comes from the philosophy they have, because it's a farmer owned organization. Since farmers are the owners, so they treat people very differently, they work with people very differently. And after that, so many friends, like my friend Sodi, now he heads Amul. Matthew Cherian, he had Help the Age, and a lot of other friends working. So growing with these peers, that gives you a type of feeling you're doing something good. So that good feeling has always been with me.
Right. So, sir, how was the transition from this small town Mandi to such as you went into college and had this great exposure? तो ये transition ने आपने cope up कैसे किया इस transition के साथ?
शुरू में थोड़ा सा अजीब लगता है, बट सिंस माय नेचर इज सो, आई ट्राई टू मिक्स विद द पीपल. जैसे मैंने कहा, आपने कहा कि आप गाना अच्छा गाते हो, नहीं गाते हो, आई डोंट नो, बट इट हेल्प्स मी टू गेट अलोंग विद द पीपल.
Right.
लोगों के साथ फिर हम बहुत सारी लिटरेरी एक्टिविटीज में इन्वॉल्व होते थे, एंड देन वी यूज्ड टू वर्क विद अदर कॉलेजेस एंड ऑल. तो ये एक्सपीरियंस थोड़ा सा अलग जरूर होता है, पर उसमें अपने आप को ढालने में इट्स नॉट डिफिकल्ट एक्चुअली.
Right.
इट गोज ऑन वेरी वेल. एंड फिर पता भी नहीं लगा कि कब, व्हेन आई वी पास 5 years तो पंतनगर में. और फिर इरमा, इट वाज टोटली डिफरेंट एक्सपीरियंस. हम लोग नए लोग थे, नया सब्जेक्ट था. वी हैड पीपल फ्रॉम IIM अहमदाबाद एंड अदर्स, आवर फैकल्टी. Then working out what should be the rural management, what type of farmer cooperatives. We used to talk a lot. तो मुझे लगता है वो बातें करते 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 कब टाइम बीत गया, we never came to know about it.
So the project with Dr. Varghese Kurian was the first one which you landed at after college.
Yes, after veterinary from
Okay.
Pantnagar.
Achha, and what are the jobs? Did you also work in the corporate sector after it?
Yes, I was with National Dairy Development Board for quite long. Then I took VRS from the National Dairy Development Board and came to voluntary sector.
Mhm.
So I worked with Foster Parents Plan International. I worked with Denmark Embassy. Then I moved to corporates. I worked with Boruka Group. I worked with Raymond in their JK Trust. Then came to FICCI. FICCI was, I was there for quite some time. And FICCI was a totally different experience working with corporates. So what happened, the good thing about me is I have worked in government. I worked in not-for-profit sector, civil society. I work for international NGOs and also work with corporate.
तो काफी वाइड डोमेन है सर आपका. तो सर since you are
that gives, That gives you a different type of feeling altogether.
Right. So, sir, since you are very much into CSR, as I read on your LinkedIn profile, so, sir, I want to understand कि how does a corporate while starting a CSR project select कि हमें किस डोमेन में काम करना है, किन बेनिफिशियरीज के साथ काम करना है, किस नीड को एड्रेस करना है.
Let me start with a different orientation. देखिए how this when this whole industrialization started, uh, companies started coming up, the corporate sector started coming up, and initially there was no pressure from the community. But since corporates kept on growing, जैसे जैसे वो बड़े होते गए, pressure started from community, and lot of corporates or the businessmen also felt that they must do something good for the society. So it started with that type of a feeling. So they started with charity. When they started with charity, slowly the rules started coming in: pollution, water, air quality, and all this. Then came the whole era of compliance. You must do something to mitigate these problems and find some solution to them. That's where this whole thing of philanthropy came.
Okay.
They started doing good for the society. Like, say, Jamshedpur. It was a village. They built a factory. People came in. They needed facilities for health, education, for people stay. When the children came, they had to be taken care of. Then the whole concept of come, like say, there's a pocket where there are very good people, and there's also another pocket where people are very poor. The gap was there, and it was in society also. Some people were very rich, some people were poor. That's where this whole concept of corporate social responsibility came in. Even Mahatma Gandhi told the businessman in one of the FICCI AGMs that you are trustees of the people wealth. People have given you wealth and you are trustees of that wealth. So it started with doing good. And of late, government also realized that they cannot really do all that. See, development practically is a government job. Government should do it. But there's just so much of gap, they can't do everything. That's where government thought, okay, let the companies also come in. That's where this whole concept of corporate social responsibility came in. So when we had new company act in 2013, then government had one clause there called 135, corporate social responsibility. So it was made that let companies also spend 2% of their net profit on social work, practically we can call it, or if you narrow it down, you can call it on the community. That's where we became little different from the world. Then we had a schedule 7, what you can do in CSR, then lot of notifications. Last year government made it mandatory that all those companies which qualify for certain limits, they have to do the corporate social responsibility. Now, what happens in a corporate social responsibility, if I try to be very short, they have to have uh, their governing board committee. Then this committee has to have an independent director. They have to have a CSR policy. They have to allocate 2% of their net profit. And as per Schedule 7, they have to make a yearly plan. It has to be in a project mode. That's where they have this advantage. They can decide how they go about it. Then these companies make this yearly plan, board approves it, they allocate money and they monitor and do it. So they have that choice. Generally, we go for a baseline. Like generally, let's say there's a mining company. All around you have villages. You go to villages, do a baseline survey, find out what all can be done, then sit with the village people, prioritize them, what village needs. That's why each plan is different. So I can't say, but for last 5 years, if you see, the maximum money has gone to education, then health, then livelihood, and then lot of other things. So they have been spending on this. And then with new law now, it is in a public domain. Like if you want to see what a company X is doing, you can go to their website, find out what they are doing. Then they have to report it to the government also. When they report it to government, then the whole government machinery, they can know what they are doing. So it's with the community in a project mode, prioritizing their, like say a company, like say Ambuja Cement. They do mostly around their plants and all. Also, they have few pan India projects also. A lot of other companies, like say I was working very closely with Aditya Birla Group. They work mostly on the village basis, whatever the village want, village priorities. So each company has their different way. But two things are very common. One thing is keeping in need the community, and second thing is very much in need of the nation also, what nation needs.
Okay. So understanding the needs of the community you're working with and the collective needs of the nation.
Yes.
Okay.
Like I give you a recent example, like say when this pandemic started, government came out with a notification that any work which is done in on the COVID in the pandemic that can qualify as CSR.
Okay.
So a lot of company, then the government came with PM Care Fund. So
Mm-hmm.
companies donated around 10,000 plus crores to PM Care Fund.
Okay.
And they are providing all type of facilities to these migrants, to PPP kits, to doctors, hospitals. Some of companies have given their hotels and all for the Corona warriors. So a lot of companies have pitched in.
So I also read your work with the Royal Danish Embassy. So can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it was very interesting. Royal Danish Embassy, they wanted to work in Bastar.
Okay.
Bastar is a remote area. First, when I joined it, it was in Madhya Pradesh. Then came Chhattisgarh. So we were working with the Chhattisgarh government in about 200 villages. We were working with the community, going to the community, understanding their needs. So two things were very, what I call you, this project still goes on. They call it Apani Yojana, where what happened, they recruited 10th pass girl from a village, give her VFO training, and she becomes a government employee. She
Okay.
works in that villages with the communities, bringing in all the government programs to the village.
Okay.
When she brings all the government programs to village, then she's from that village. This whole thing worked out very well.
Okay.
It was so successful, like I had left almost more than 10 years now. They still continue that project, and that project is still on.
So sir, what is the vision and the aim of this project?
The aim is making this quality improvement in their lives, but it as per their tradition, customs, and all. Like one thing I tell you, like when I stayed with the Adivasis, we used to go to the remote villages. Generally, people go to the roadside things and all. We spend time with. Uh, Certain questions came to our mind. First question came, why we are changing it? They are happy people. They live in nature, uh, and they have their own tradition. Why you want to change them and all? Uh, then this whole mix of the modern technology, facilities available, and the government inputs. We stayed with them. We worked with them. That's why this whole idea of coming, having a Adivasi person as a village facilitator came in, because they don't really accept outsiders so easily as they accept their own people. And second thing is we got free hand from the government to work with them. And then whole concept of breed improvement, making self-help groups, all those forest produce, making cooperatives for them, selling them in markets in Andhra, money coming back to the villages, they owning the self-help groups and all. This really worked very well, that everybody liked this model.
Okay. So sir, for how long were you associated with this?
I stayed with tribals for about 4 years,
Okay.
and that was working in very remote villages in Bastar.
So, sir, how was the experience living with tribals and getting the first-hand experiences at all the practices and basically their lifestyle?
Uh, See, two things were very striking. First thing is you understand simplicity in life. Though I understand it from the way we live in Himachal, people are humble, very nice. But with, when you stay with Adivasis, you understand that life itself has a meaning in terms of living in peace with the nature. Though they may not have anything, but the way they worship nature, the way एक छोटी सी बकरी लेके they will come to the heart, they come to hell, and they are happy people. So you learn happiness. तो आपके मन में सवाल ही उठता है कि why really all this struggle? Why you are struggling the whole day? Why can't life be simple? Why life cannot be peaceful? So it was totally a different experience working with them. And the type of happiness when you do a little bit for them, वहां पे क्या है कि when you do small thing, you can see the change. The life changes, उनकी छोटी छोटी खुशियां हैं, छोटी छोटी हैप्पीनेस हैं, तो you feel those things, so you yourself change, you start questioning yourself, and that makes you so humble and so with the people that it changes yourself and you are able to do. तो डबल खुशी होती है कि you feel happy that you have done something for others.
सर एक और चीज के बारे में आई वांटेड टू टॉक कि सिंस अभी आई एम अ कॉलेज स्टूडेंट, सो आई हैव फ्रेंड्स डूइंग इंटर्नशिप्स इन वेरियस डोमेन्स. तो फिर देयर इज अ कॉमन माइंडसेट आई हैव सीन अमंगस्ट द फ्रेंड सर्कल और द बेसिकली द कॉलेज यूथ. तो उनका माइंडसेट ये है कि इफ वी गो इनटू सोशल सेक्टर, कि द सोशल सेक्टर डज नॉट पे अस वेल. तो फिर दैट इज व्हाई दे आर नॉट मच इंक्लाइंड और डू नॉट एवर थिंक अबाउट वर्किंग इन द सोशल सेक्टर इन द लॉन्ग टर्म. They are usually inclined towards marketing and sales and ये सब.
पहली तो बात ये कि the things have changed now. हमारे टाइम पे क्या था कि you didn't had many choices.
Okay.
When I was growing up, as you asked in college, there were two choices. Either you become a doctor or you become an engineer. There was no third choice. Now, with your generation, you have plenty of choices. Second thing, it is a matter of heart and mind. You think from your mind and you work with your heart. I meet a lot of people, a lot of young people. They find a lot of meaning in working for other people in social sector.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people now are coming back from the corporate to the social sector. But definitely social sector has its own challenges. It's not so glamorous. Second thing is you must start with the village. You must live with the communities. Generally, we also try to glamorize it. Hey, no, I spent one day in village and all that. It's not that. It's go stay with them, respect them. It's question of dignity. You have to have dignity for yourself and dignity for the community you work with.
Right.
If you have that dignity, then really you learn. And social sector also, it's also a good paying sector also now. It's not so, it has emerged as a full-fledged sector now. You have so many institutes, you can go to EDMA, you can go to TASE, you can go to MIT Pune and a lot of courses, and with CSR, with World Bank, with National Development Bank, lot of agencies coming in. This sector also has, but this sector also gives you a chance of satisfaction.
Right.
You feel good for yourself. So that's how social sector is different from working in a pure corporate sector.
Right. Like I was talking to a speaker, she mentioned कि जब तुम किसी सोशल वेंचर के लिए काम कर रहे हो, सोशल सेक्टर में काम कर रहे हो, तो जब तुम घर पे आके सोते हो तो वो जो मीठी नींद होती है, that is uncomparable.
डेफिनेटली बहुत मजा आता है कि आपको लगता है कि आपके जीवन का इट हैज ए मीनिंग,
Right.
इट गिव्स ए मीनिंग टू योर लाइफ and also satisfaction of doing something good for others.
So, sir, I was reading this concept of urban poor. Can you elaborate in a line or two about the concept of urban poor for the listeners?
Uh, see, one thing is very clear now with this pandemic. Nobody expected this migration and all.
हाँ जी.
That's what it exposed our urban society. We were always thinking that there is a section in urban which is poor, who stays in slums, they are a drain on the resources and all. But unfortunately, what has happened, we never dwelt our industries in the rural belt. So there had been a lot of migration which we never noticed.
Hmm.
And these people, they were living a life uh, out of, you can say, out of poverty almost. They were staying, they were helping our economic activities and all. This sudden pandemic exposed it. That's why we see this whole migration. Nobody thought it. Even still,
Hmm.
we don't have uh, estimates. We cannot tell how many people have moved in, what type of migration. Just recently, the MART is an organization which works on rural marketing mainly. They did a survey. They found that 25% of those people, they don't want to come back to the cities now.
Hmm.
So we need, especially social sector and government, we need to work on two things very well. One thing is providing what Abdul Kalam ji said, providing urban facilities in the rural area,
Hmm.
Pura,
Hmm.
and also catering to the livelihood of the people who have migrated to the village, at the village now, because they are in large number. And also it has put a question on our whole development theory. These people will come back, they will not come back, how will restructure our industries, what type of facilities will provide, will this new programs start, when they will start. So urban poor has been exposed the maximum.
Right.
And yeah, as you know, in Delhi and all now, the way pandemic is spreading, that gives a fear psychosis also. So at this
Hmm.
point of time, we are fighting on too many fronts. So that's where this whole question we need to restudy, research it, and come to a new conclusion how we should run our programs.
So, sir, how do you think the definition of urban poor will change in the coming years? As you mentioned, okay, now they've moved back to the villages and they do not want to come back.
I think this is where corporate, government, and civil society should work together and draw up programs which address their needs now. See, two things are very clear. One thing is they need money to survive. Second thing is in the long run they need the livelihood. Because the whole question, agriculture cannot support so many people.
Right.
It has already been under stress. So we need to move into a new entrepreneurship where things are being done differently now for these people who are either in urban areas or in rural areas. So we need to research, draw conclusions, and draw up a new strategy to cater to this new issue.
So, sir, also not just the urban poor. I would like to ask you, okay, the people who were working before the pandemic and have lost their jobs. So now, when we'll step out in the world, it will be a completely different work where remote working is the future. So, how do you think the youth and the working population need to upgrade their skills? कि अब मार्केट में क्या नई स्किल्स की डिमांड होगी?
Uh, First, to understand it this way, that we call it, when we discuss these things, we call it new normal.
Okay.
It's not going to be normal what was before the pandemic.
Mhm.
Things are going to change. There will be a new normal. In new normal, you have to acquire new skills now. Like we never knew that we can work from home. Now we are talking from our home. We never thought about that.
Right.
पहले कभी दिमाग में नहीं आया कि ऐसा हो सकता है. You need these skills now. Another thing is also there. There will be competition now. Like say, lot of carpenters and electricians, they are moved from city to the villages now. So there you need to cater to those type of skills, the skill set you had there, and provide those type of opportunities to these people working in those villages. Similarly, for the youth also, you need these new skills now. Another thing is also there. अभी तक क्या होता था कि we always used to look for jobs. कि हमें जॉब मिल जाए एक अच्छा सा, like you know, people always my generation used to look for government job. जिंदगी में दो ही एम होते थे. आपका एम होता था कि आपको गवर्नमेंट जॉब मिल जाए, एंड पेरेंट्स एम यूज्ड टू बी कि तुम्हारी शादी हो जाए. इसके अलावा कोई थर्ड जो था वो कंपटीशन नहीं था. नाउ दैट कंसर्न इज कमिंग अप. इट रिक्वायर्स न्यू स्किल, न्यू अप्रोच टू लाइफ, एंड ऑल्सो now we know कि you can survive with without lot of things also.
Right.
पहले ये था कि अगर मॉल नहीं जाएं, इस सब पे पैसे नहीं खर्च करें, तो used to feel कि something is missing in life. Now it has exposed us to that level कि where we have to understand कि life is not only that. ये minimum इसमें भी we can live life. So it has given a new meaning to life. And for youth, you have to acquire these skills and look for doing something which is very close to your heart. हम हमेशा इसे ऐसे समझाते हैं कि go for your passion now. कौन चीज आपको करने में अच्छी लगती है, जो आपको करने में अच्छा लगता है, follow that. Follow your heart more now than your mind. जो आपने एक सोशल वर्क का भी पूछा था, अगर आपको ये काम अच्छा लगता है तो you should do it. Because there is demand for this work. लेकिन कीजिए तभी जब आपका पैशन, जब आपका दिल कहे कि मुझे ये करना है, then you must do it. Not just for job. Those people who were looking just for a job, they will have difficult time.
So you've also been a guest faculty in many of the renowned colleges around India. So how has your experience been dealing with the millennials or the Generation Z? Okay, what potential do you see in them and what do you think is lacking?
I love it. New generation is really very nice. The way they give you respect, the way they treat you. और उन लोगों के ना they are full of जिसे कहते हैं ना हिंदी में कि उनके सपने हैं. They have dreams.
Right.
That's a good thing. Another thing, with time, our generation, we had a first-hand struggle. हम लोग नए नए शहर में आए थे. We had to make a house. We had to make buy a car. I bought my first car when after doing service for 15 years. Now the new generation doesn't wait for even one day. Before they join, they have a car.
Okay.
And you can take loan for everything now. Your generation comes with lot of positivity. And you have also opportunities. Now there's no limit. But I personally prefer working with the young people. Okay, you must go for on your own. कुछ ऐसा कीजिए which is different. Provide people job. Don't look for a job.
Right.
And try to be good to people. Because once you're good to people, that goodness comes back to you.
What goes around comes around.
Yes. Yes.
Sir, just last couple of questions. Okay, what do you think will be the future of CSR in India? Like, say for from 5 years from now or 10 years from now?
CSR is there to stay now. CSR, what we are working for, we work for working together. Government, corporate, civil society, academia, they all must work together. Second thing is we should look for impact now. There has to be projects, things where we can see a change. Because corporate social responsibility also is a license to operate. It's not only good that you should do good. Lot of companies also want to look good. हम लोग सिर्फ ये नहीं चाहते कि people think that we are good. We want they should feel we are good. So there's a lot of scope for corporate social responsibility. It's moving in the right direction. Lot of good is being done, and it has a very bright future. That's why we advocate that the new generation should also join corporate social responsibility and work with corporates and with the civil society.
So, your one last message before we end the podcast to all the people who are working in the social sector and serving people in these difficult times, and basically all the frontline workers. उनको आप क्या बोलना चाहते हो?
Be ready for the challenge. आगे चैलेंज बहुत सारे बढ़ने वाले हैं और try to understand that the way society treats you, it's not necessary that you give it back to the society. We are here to change the society.
Right.
सब कुछ अच्छा नहीं है, लेकिन we have to change it. And good thing is lot of new people, lot of new generation, your generation. No, people are coming forward and working with the communities. Let's do good to earn good.
Right, absolutely. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for such a lovely and positive message.
So nice, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for the time, sir.
Thank you very much.